This is I. Good afternoon, good evening. Same to you too. Randomizer. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate. So, good morning. It is 1:36 over here in Mauritius. And the cable has fallen off. It is 1:36 over here in Mauritius, and I'm joyful to be able to share this moment, with each and every one of you. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, that you are hearing the sound of my voice. We are pleased to be here sharing this moment with each and every one of you. Today, I am going to be speaking on a reflective topic, and that topic is called assumptions. Assumptions and spiritualist. That is the topic that I am going to be discussing with each and every one of you, today, that have the time to listen. And I beg you to please listen to the sound. I beg you to please pay attention to all that we are going to be teaching you, because it is ultimately for your benefit. But apart from it being for your benefit, it is also for my own benefit, because as I'm teaching you, I am also learning similarly, side by side with you. So, to many of you that are already familiar with the process of our conversations, I welcome each and every one of you again. But before we start, let us have a quick mindful meditation, before we start. First of all, we are going to give reverence to our teachers. We give reverence to all and to everyone that has made it possible for us to be able to share this moment with each and every one of you. And to all of you that are giving your gift, I truly, truly appreciate you all, wherever it is that you are hearing and listening to the sound of my voice. I appreciate each and every one of you from the depth of our hearts. So the conversation today is assumptions and spirituality. One of the biggest flaws of many spiritualists, which was at a point in time one of my own flaws, was assumptions. It is one of the biggest flaws of a lot of spiritualists, and if you are a practicing spiritualist, assumptions will also be that which you will keep struggling with. And if you're not cautious, you might not even see it. Thank you very much, Pretty Mano. Thank you, Empress, and to all of you. If you are not careful, you might not even see it, that everything that you are doing, saying, thinking is all based on assumptions, never based on truth, never based on reality, and never based on facts. And that is why, after passing through my own jungles of mental assumptions, we come to share our realization with each and every one of you. So, before we start, wherever you are, if you're sitting, I want you to please sit upright. If you're standing, I want you to sit down. If you're cooking, kindly slow down the gas or your stove. And if you are driving, it is okay. So now I want you to borrow me 60 seconds of your time before we start this conversation. 60 seconds of your time is what I want you to borrow me. So Keep your hands closed together like this. Like your hands are shaking each other. I want you to bring your left hand and your right hand and let it hug each other. As the hands are hugging each other, I want you to place it upon your lap. Now that the hands are placed upon your lap, I want you to do a simple breathing in exercise. So I want you to breathe in, breathe out, releasing the air from your mouth. You breathe in, you breathe out. You breathe in, you breathe out. You breathe in, you breathe out. Now reverse the process. Now you're going to breathe in, but you're going to release the air from your nose. So you're going to count 1 to 5. So basically 5 seconds each for your in breath and your out breath. So you breathe in, count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. Count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. Now repeat the process again. Very good. Now that you've repeated that process, I want you to take a deep breath in and gradually lift your eye upward like this. Now breathe out. Breathe in again. Breathe out. Breathe in again. Breathe out. Breathe in again. Breathe out. And come back. Okay. So thank you all, and to all of you that did participate. I appreciate each and every one of you for participating. Twameva mata chapitam twameva. Twameva bandhu chasaka twameva. Twameva vidya dravinam twameva. Twameva sharanam mama deva deva. 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 Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopal Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Govindaya Namo Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Dev Maheshwaram. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Gurave Namaha. 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 Om Namaha Mantra Mantrike. Okay, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you again. And thank you for being very patient, with us. Today, we are going to speak on a very sensitive matter. But because it is sensitive, it is also a matter, a conversation that, when looked properly into, it actually gives proper understanding of life. But when we don't look at it properly, we become confused as to what is happening. Why is it happening? And this matter that we are going to speak about, this conversation that we are going to speak about, is called assumptions and spirituality. One of the biggest problems that many spiritualists have is assumptions. Whether you are a spiritual person or you are not a spiritual person, assumptions becomes the struggle that you struggle with. Everyone practically struggles with assumptions. Assumption, the state of feeling that we understand something, only to find out later that what it is that we believed we understand has been wrong all along. A lot of relationships have been broken based on assumptions. A lot of opportunities has been denied based on assumptions. A lot of unfortunate circumstances and unfortunate situations has happened to many people based on assumptions. A lot of people have denied themselves opportunity of growth based on what? Assumptions. A lot of people have been, have been cut off based on assumptions. And for a spiritual person or for an aspirant on the part of spirituality, assumptions becomes that push and pull that pulls the aspirant on the part of spirituality. And one of the points that the ancient teachers and all philosophers has always said is what? Be mindful of what? Assumptions. The ancient teachers have always said that. Be mindful of assumptions. Assumptions is that silent prostitute that whispers beautiful words by your ear but leads you astray. A lot of people's life have actually been cut short because of assumptions. Assumptions has made people. Assumptions have broken people. Assumptions has, whatever it is it has done. But we are going to focus more on the part of spirituality. Why does assumptions affect many spiritualists or many so-called beginners or pseudo-spiritualists, people that say that they're spiritual? Why does assumptions affect them? But not just only them, but basically every individual. Why? For many years, even till the end of dying, assumption becomes one of that continuous experiences you will keep having. And until you are able to truly start paying attention to it, until you are able to start looking at it for what it is, not trying to judge it, not trying to judge others, not trying to believe that you know more than others, but just looking at it. Only then will you truly be able to see what the assumption is and how it rises. Only then. For when we look at assumptions, assumption is born out of insecurity. Many of that which you have assumed, I assume it was this, I assume it was this, I assume it was this. Everything that you have assumed it was or it wasn't is born out of your own insecurity. And one of the biggest challenges many spiritualists have is insecurity. That's a fact. Insecurity is one of the biggest challenge on the path of many spiritualists. And because insecurity is there, thank you very much, Abimara. And because insecurity is there, it becomes the internal struggle. You see, your insecurities is not what you show to people. Your insecurities are a constant struggle within yourself. And your assumptions is born out of your insecurity. your insecurity of your finance, your insecurity of people, your insecurity of, whatever, it is born out of that. And because of your insecurity, it brings what is called an emotional bias. Emotional bias. From insecurity, you get emotional bias. Emotional bias leads to jealousy. Emotional bias leads to so many things. So what is the root of assumptions? Insecurity. Insecurity is the root, the number one root of assumptions. And these assumptions, most often, assumptions is targeted towards specific people. What you assume about people is not general. It is specific. You don't have a general assumptions of people. You have a specific assumption of certain people. Whether you're a spiritual person or you're not a spiritual person. And this specific assumption of a group of people or of certain people is born out of what? Emotional bias that is born out of jealousy, emotional bias that is born out of competition, emotional bias that is born out of status or social, status, whether it's financial or not financial, and emotional bias that is born out of the intellectual. And then there's emotional bias that is born out of family, friends, you name it. So many of the assumptions that we have of people, ever see a person talking, and just by the person saying things, you start assuming things in your head that you believe this is what the person meant, or this is what the person was hinting at. And all of a sudden, after some time, you come to hear that, no, that is not what the person was actually saying, or that is not what the person even meant. So where does the conclusion that you naturally develop inside of your head, where does it come from? That conclusion that you develop in your head about somebody is called assumption. Now, you must understand that assumption is born from what? Scrutiny. Reading of what? Reading of patterns. The reading of patterns. When you've related with a person and the person have acted or said certain things to you, that becomes a pattern that you accept. And hence, if the pattern is not positive and it is negative, every assumptions that you will have in regards to what the individual is saying will always be what? Negative, because it is the first expression, the first exposure of the pattern, the individual's pattern that you were exposed to. So assumption becomes the killer. Assumptions becomes the stick or the cane that we use in torturing ourselves for no reason. Your assumption is either born from jealousy, but many of us, we don't truly want to accept that we are jealous. That is a fact. There is an English word that says assumption comes from lack of what? Information. And that is true. But you must understand that informations are of two kinds. When lack of information and improper information. And hence there says half-truth is dangerous. Assumption is like half-truth that we develop on our own. Not people develop it for us. We develop it on our own. And this half-truth that we develop on our own is based on our relationship with the person, our emotional relationship with the people, the group, or the society. Based on what? Our relationship with the group, the people, or the society. And this relationship is born out of emotional biases. Whether you like it or not, we are all emotionally biased towards certain people. And that is the nature. You are not meant to be emotionally balanced with everybody, even though it is the best and it is the ultimate. But there is always an emotional reserve that we have for everyone. And this emotional reserve is what we use in protecting ourselves. That is called emotional bias. Is what we use in protecting ourselves, but it is also the knife at which we use in stabbing ourselves. A lot of relationship has been broken because of emotional bias. One of the major problems in relationships is assumptions. I was thinking this is what you meant. Oh, I thought this is what you were saying. Assumption is born from what? Lack of information, half information, and not being present. And this happens when the intelligence or the brain is excessively stimulated. When the brain is what? Excessively stimulated. And when the brain is excessively stimulated, we create a lot of assumptions about people. Now, the assumptions we create about people is also born from the little information that we have gathered. Not the real information, just the little information that we have gathered. And there are two ways we gather information, either by hearing it from somebody or by experiencing a little exchange with a group, with a person, with a society. And based on that experience or that which we have heard, we create this world of assumptions in our head. And we then use this as the principle or the navigating compass that we use in dealing and relating with people. So assumption, whether you will love it or you don't love it, is what you use every day to torture yourself. Assumptions. But let us focus on the part of spiritualist, on the part of spirituality. Why does it appear that 95% of spiritualists assume? They are not sure, but they assume things. Because assumption is born from pattern. And the nature of the mind is a good pattern reader. When it sees a certain pattern in people or by hearing some certain life experience of people, the mind creates a pattern. And because it creates that pattern, we use that in now relating with people. So most often when we say to people or we are in a conversation with people and someone is expressing themselves to us and we are saying, yes, I understand. Oh yeah, I understand. 95% of the time you don't understand. But we use this as a what? A figure of speech. A figure of speech. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. But 95% you don't understand. Oh, I know what you meant. But in reality, you don't know what the person meant. Oh, I know. I understand your pain. You cannot understand another person's pain if you are not in it yourself. Oh, I understand your feelings. It is impossible. Saying that you understand another person's feeling is an assumption. Is an assumption. Is a sort of let's say it's an assumption because you cannot. You can only truly understand what the individual is passing through if you have experienced it before. And because if you have experienced it before, then that becomes the compass. It becomes the navigating tool. Okay, yes, I've experienced this before, so I know what it means. I know what it feels like. But if you've not experienced it before, and then you are saying, I understand what you mean. Oh, yes, I know what you mean. You are creating a cycle around yourself that then becomes a form of punishment. Which then brings the question, does the prophecies of spiritualists, is it based on assumption or it is based on inner reflection? One of the greatest danger that many of us have had, and many of us we are continuously having, is the assumptions that we have of people. And this assumption that we have of people is based on us thinking that we know the person, us putting the experiences that we've had about that person, we use that to create that assumption. So let's say, for example, someone, maybe a family member has this jealous way of acting. And because the family member has that jealous way of acting, when the family member says something, the way we listen to what that person is saying, or even if the family member did not say anything, instantly we conclude by assumptions. And let me tell you one secret that you must understand. 85% of the ideas that you come to is based on jealousy. When you are jealous of a person, even if the person is not saying anything to you, even if the person just maybe raise an eyebrow or, just cough, you will read extra meanings to what that person is trying to say. And as the ancient teacher says, you must really observe yourself to ask yourself, why are you jealous of a person? For if you don't ask yourself why you are jealous of a person, jealousy becomes the part of emotional bias that creates a blindfold in your face. That when a person is saying something, even if they don't mean any negative intention, you are going to read negative intentions towards it. That is the emotional bias of jealousy. The emotional bias of what? Of jealousy. And this emotional bias of jealousy, you find it in family settings. Among family members. You find it there. Many of the conclusions that you've had about a family member, about a person, is based on the emotional bias of jealousy. And when jealousy becomes that which you use in hearing people, you see, the ancient teacher says jealousy is very subtle. It is not the same as envy. Jealousy is not the same as envy. Jealousy is subtle. You might even think that you are positive, but you are jealous. There is also positive jealousy. There is also that. You might think that you are being positive towards the individual, but you are underneath that positivity is jealousy. Jealousy. Now, what is the root of jealousy? The ancient teacher says the reason why you have a brain is to be able to investigate. The reason why there is a brain, there is a mind, there is, the eye, there is the senses in the body, is not just to be carried away by the pulls of them, but to use them as a tool of investigating. What is the root of jealousy? Why does every man born on the surface of the earth possess jealousy inside of them? Jealousy is not the same as envy. Understand that. Jealousy is not the same as envy. Envy is totally different. You are envious of people that has things that you lack in your life. And hence, when you have it, you are also not going to be contented. Jealousy is wanting to have things before people. Jealousy is born from an adrenaline. It's an adrenaline, and I'm sorry, maybe my English may not be very nice, but it's an adrenaline. Okay, you get my point already. It's a rush, adrenaline rush, something like that. That is jealousy. It's a rush of adrenaline in the body. But this rush is born from wanting to be the first. Jealousy is born from wanting to be the first, the center of what? Attention. That is what jealousy is. It is not wanting to be the old form of attention, but no, just wanting to be the first. And that is why you will see, if you hear that your friend gets married instantly and you have not gotten married, you are not envious of your friend getting married, but instantly, the moment you hear that news that your friend is getting married and you have not yet gotten married, there's gonna be a strike, pooh, of emotional race. Your blood spike will go up, pooh, and you don't know why. You are not thinking negative of your friend, but instantly, the moment you hear that this thing is happening to this person, instantly there's a quick rush of emotion, a quick rush of blood that flows inside of you. The same thing, even if you have a car and you hear that your friend is buying a new car, that moment you hear that, or that moment that you see that, instantly there is this strong rush of blood that rushed to your to your heart, and boom, your heart pumps and creates a certain feeling. It is not a feeling of hate. Jealousy is not a feeling of hate. It is a feeling of not being the first. Of not being the first. So jealousy is born from the society. It is born from the environment. It is natural in each and every one of us. That rush to be the first. It is an ancestral pattern. Now, many people say, I don't have jealousy inside of me. No. That is a lie. That is a lie. Now, that jealousy it also shows what you lacked as a child. While growing up, what you felt deprived from your parent becomes what you get jealous about in other people. If your parent did not share and did not give you enough love, or you did not receive enough love from your parent, you will naturally be jealous when you see another family member, maybe a younger sibling of yours, or you see another family member having more love that you did not get. What you felt deprived of as a child is what you get jealous about. What you felt criticized of as a child is what you become jealous about in other people. You see, jealousy, it flows in different directions because it's about wanting to be the center, wanting to have that quick spotlight. Not to possess it, but just let it shine on me. To the point that even when you find your friend just buying a new phone, instantly there's a jealousy inside. Oh, he has bought a new phone. I don't have it yet. And hence you see our emotional bias based on jealousy leads to many assumptions that we have of people. When jealousy is there, the assumptions that we have of people will always be through the lens of the jealousy that we have of them. And hence the ancient teacher says the moment you find yourself hearing people saying things and you start coming to a conclusion in your head, you must ask yourself, this conclusion I am coming to, is it because of the jealousy that is inside of me? That is why I am coming to this conclusion about this person, or it is because I am fully convinced? For even when you are fully convinced, you become surprised later on. Lack of information. Half information. One of the ways we have come to so many assumptions, and this also bleeds into racism. It also does what? It also bleeds into racism. Many of us have come to the conclusion that people are racist towards us without not understanding. Truly. Now, this is a very sensitive conversation, but it is a fact. It is needed to be spoken about. And hence the ancient teacher says, when you don't understand the lingua of people, which is the language of people, every word the people say, you will always feel insecure about it. There are many people that have traveled to a different country and they speak a different form of language in that place. They speak a different form of language there. And hence, because they have not yet understood the language, they get insecure when a certain word is being said, and hence they take it as a direct insult to themselves. This also goes into relationship of mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. Jealousy. There are many women that are married. They are currently in a relationship. They are currently with their mother-in-law. And there are many mother-in-laws that are currently staying with their daughter-in-law. But due to this subtle jealousy with each other, they have come to so many assumptions about each other's words that their relationship has become so damaged that it is beyond repairable. It is beyond repair. And there's one thing which is a disease, and that disease is that we also purposefully search for people to align with our assumptions. We purposefully do what? Search for people to align with what? Our assumptions. We do that consciously and unconsciously. And hence when we find that people or certain people are not accepting our assumptions, we start taking them as what? Enemies. Now, most of the enemy or the enemy that we have formed from people is based on what? Assumptions. There are reasons why we have cut ourselves off from people. Many people have cut themselves off from people. Say, you know what? I need my peace of mind. Oh, I don't want to stay around toxic people. These people are too toxic for me. Are you really sure that they are toxic for you? Or it is you that is coming to the assumptions because you are not understanding and because you are tormented with your own insecurity? So you are getting disturbed by everything that they are doing because you are thinking that everything is directed towards you. You see, when an individual is insecure, every word people say, every action people say is like a direct attack. even right now that I'm speaking to you. Even right now that I'm speaking to you, if there is this insecurity inside of you, as I'm speaking to you right now, you will start thinking that Sukadeva is directly attacking me, but I am not. You don't know me. I don't know you. Because there are insecurity. Now, insecurity is one of the greatest challenge of many spiritualists, because insecurity is born from what? There's a subtle competition inside of it. I know better than you. You don't know better than me. I understand better than you. You don't understand better than me. And this insecurity drives many spiritual people, not just only spiritual people, it also drives many people. So when we hear certain things from certain people or certain spiritual people, we're like, what is this person saying? There are many people that you don't know them. You've not seen them before. Just by maybe you hear a word that they say, it triggers your insecurity. Your insecurity has made you to hate people and condemn people before getting to know them. Now, here's a question you must ask yourself. Have I condemned people due to my insecurity without truly allowing myself to get to know them? Please, I want you to truly ask yourself this question. Have I really condemned people without not allowing myself to know them? Just because I felt insecure by the way they dress, the way they act, the way they speak, the way their mannerism is. Absolutely. There are many of us that have condemned people, have rejected people, have, spoken ill about people due to our insecurity. Due to what? Our own insecurity. And this insecurity is what transfers. That is why you will see one spiritual person will be speaking bad about another spiritual person. Insecurity. It is not that this person has something better to say than the other one. No, it is just insecurity. Insecurity is the subtle way we try to crave attention. Insecurity. Now, there is also what is called the intellectual bias. You also come to assumptions on people when you think they know better than you or you know more better than them. Am I making sense to you? Are you listening to me with intelligence, not with emotion? You also come to emotional bias, either positive or negative, when you think the people know more than you or you know more than the person. And that is the struggle. It is called the mental struggle. The mental war that many spiritualists, that many people, not just only spiritualists, many people are struggling with. The mental competition of, I know more than you, and you should not talk to me like that. You should not speak like that. What is this person talking about? Oh no, this person is not saying what is right. What is this person talking about? The intellectual bias. Insecurity born out of the intellect. Insecurity born out of what? The intellect. And guess what? That which you know in your intelligence is very little. But there's this need to want to preserve it. There's this need to want to, protect it. And hence, whenever we see anyone that is a threat to that little knowledge that we know, we become insecure about that person. whenever we meet a person that knows more than us, we become insecure about that person. How many of you have felt insecure when you meet a person that knows more than you? Be truthful. Show me your visual hand up. Be truthful. Truly ask yourself, have I seen a person that I know that knows more than me on what I'm talking about, and I started feeling insecure about the person? And I started getting jealous about the person? Oh, yes. How many of you? Raise your hand up. Show me. But of course, these are realities. And based on this, you create an assumption about that individual. And hence the ancient teacher says, for you to truly grow, you must put yourself that you are lower than the lowest. Everyone knows better than me. I don't really know anything. Only then can you truly start growing. But if you don't bring yourself lower than the lowest, your assumptions will burn you. Assumption is like a fire. But guess what about this fire? It does not burn another person. It only burns you. Because it is born from jealousy. Jealousy does not distress another person. It only distresses you. Insecurity does not distress another person. It only distresses you. It is that insecurity that when you're walking on the road and you see someone that looks, you see, insecurities comes in different versions. Whether you see someone that is more beautiful than you see someone that has more mustache than you see someone that knows how to sing more than you see someone that has more finance than you see someone that dress more better than you. It comes in different ways, and the moment you come in that place, you start feeling insecure. Now your insecurity, you start saying it is called bad energy. And hence the ancient teachers is it really bad energy, or it is just you being insecure and have not yet accepted that you are insecure? So you now say bad energy. Oh, there's a lot of bad energy here. Bad vibe. Let me run away from bad vibe. Is it really bad vibe, or it is you that is insecure? Which also plays in why many of us, we don't like to go to parties. We don't like to go outside because, what am I going to see outside? It is your insecurity that is actually playing that. Your own insecurity. So to understand emotional bias is to understand your insecurity. When you see and truly understand your own insecurity, you can then understand the assumptions that you are having towards people. 95% of what you think you know about a religion is an assumption. Born from what? Half knowledge. And hence the ancient teacher says you must always question yourself all the time. What I know, is it the truth? Or it is half knowledge? Thank you very much to all of you, Emergencies and Carlos. I appreciate you. You must always question yourself all the time. What I know, is it the truth or it is half knowledge? You must always question yourself. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you. Now I am open to questions. Merci beaucoup. Ciao.